Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Season Ticket Holders. I'm your host, Dane Lillingston, and I have a brand new guest with us today. He's an MC, ground announcer, auctioneer, fellow Win News alumni. He's a host and producer for the Sports and Entertainment Network, and sadly for me, a South Sydney Rabbitohs fan, Keyan Kramer. Keyan, welcome to the show, mate. How are you?
Dano, it is a pleasure to chat to you. And I must say, that is one of the greatest introductions I've ever heard. So that's awesome. You pumped up my tyres massively.
I try, mate. I try. Now, last week's episode, obviously, and the last week dominated by the news about Payne Haas. And we are going to break that down. I'm sure you're a very happy man at the moment. So we'll get into that. But firstly, first time on the show, just want you to tell us a little bit about who you are, what got you into rugby league, and why you love the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Yeah, so rugby league has always been a part of me. I never played the sport, Dane. Like I'm sure a lot of rugby league fans out there, but my dad grew up a massive Bunnings fan during the glory days. So I'm 32 now, and ever since I was born, it was always the Bunnies. My brother is actually a Manly fan. He supported the Bunnies until Manly lost to the Knights in the grand final, and then he jumped ship. So my dad had no other choice but to have me by his side. So I've had some terrible years, Dane. You know, my whole childhood was me getting picked on for being a Bunnies fan because we were so terrible. And then gradually, believe it or not, the year I knocked off school in 2011, from 2012, the unknown until now has been a joyous ride. And, you know, if it wasn't for the injuries last year, which we'll touch on, it could have been something different. But I've always been a Bunnies fan, always loved rugby league, and I'll always keep a close eye on it in my job, as you mentioned, the intro, working in radio.
Love it, mate. Love to hear it. Now, look, straight into the big news today. Payne Haas, official. Of course, we thought it was official. Now official. 3-year deal. We found out the last year is in his favour in 2029. So that's very exciting. Mate, just as a fan, firstly, the last week, I mean, I'm a Broncos fan, so it was a bit of a shock. What's this last week been like for you, finding out the news that Payne Haas will be coming to your club?
It's been a roller coaster because don't forget, with Keyan signing with the St. George Illawarra Dragons for 5 years, which congratulations to Keyan. That's an awesome contract and he deserves it. We actually didn't have a prop forward. Now, Davey Moale went to the Storm and he was sort of on the fringe. Tavita Totola hadn't really kicked on last year. Obviously, injuries hampered that a little bit. So as a Bunnies fan, you just thought, wow, we really don't have any stocks in our front row. Who are we possibly going to bring up? Do we have someone in the lower grades? And then kaboom, we signed Payne Haas and it all started to make a lot of sense. Yeah, you clear the decks, you clear some cap space. And for all those people that go, well, you sign Adam Elliott, or you signed Brandon Smith not long ago, or well, you signed David Fafita. Don't forget, all these guys were signed quite cheap. They weren't signed for a lot of money. Everyone wants to play under Wayne Bennett. And Dane, as a Broncos fan, you will know that everyone loves Wayne. The Payne Haas-Wayne Bennett relationship, obviously that got him over the line. I'm very excited. I think he'll add so much stock to our pack, really, as you can imagine. So it's a wait and see. If we have a full-strength team and Payne's leading the charge there in the front row, geez, they're going to be a dangerous team.
Signing of the century, mate. Is that how big we're talking?
You know, I've been thinking about this for a while. Is it the signing of the century? It'd be in my top three. I still think GI was number one and Burgess number two, but we didn't know how good Sam was going to be. If it wasn't for that try he scored against the Kangaroos in that little series they had there against Australia all those years ago, and then South signed in previous to that, then I thought, well, we really have a player here. But geez, I tell you what, it's got to be top three now. Hard to beat.
Mate, he's gone to R360 now, so don't worry about it.
Let's hope not.
That deal, like we just said, that last year in his favour, I thought there must have been some sort of player option, so I wasn't surprised to find that out. Now, we, of course, believe potentially R360 starts now in 2028, the Rugby Rebel Breakaway competition, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has that year, and then maybe he goes the year after. You know, if he sees it, if it is a success, assume he gets off the ground. We know we're pretty sceptical at the moment. It's already been delayed once, supposed to start this year, come again. So I could see him totally doing that if it doesn't work out. Of course, the other thing is heavily speculated that what the Wayne Bennett clause is in the contract as well, right? So if Wayne were to leave the club, Payne Haas would also be able to get out. Now, Wayne Bennett's deal, he's in the second of a 3-year deal, right? So he could potentially leave at the end of next year. You mentioned injuries did sort of ruin your chances last year in Wayne's first season back, obviously missing the finals, 16th. I think you won 3 of the last 4, so it looked a lot better than it was in the end. But that influence of Wayne Bennett is massive. As a conspiracy theorist, mate, do you think he is leaving the door ajar for R360 a little bit with the way this has all gone down?
It seems to be the case, and I cannot blame him. It's the same thing with live golf, right? If money is being thrown at you, chances are you're going to want to take it. It'd be very hard to say no. And the money that he'd get if R360 gets up and running will be absolutely ginormous. And he wants to take care of his family. Unfortunately for Payne Haas, he's had a pretty tough life so far. And for him, family is the most important. Wherever that takes him, whatever it takes to make him feel happy, that I think he knows deep down what he has to do. Is there anything more he can achieve in rugby league as it stands? I don't think so. I think he's done everything he can do. He's already created a legacy for himself as being the best front rower in the competition. He's won a competition. He's done well with the State of Origin as well. Good luck to him. If he wants to chase the money, so be it. I just hope now the Bunnies can finally win another comp after so many prelims where we've been unlucky. We haven't gone all the way.
100%. I mean, we're talking about potentially $3 million a season as well. So that would be absolutely massive, mate. Just as a fan, how confident are you that he is there for the entire 3 years? If we had to do a betting market right now, what would you be thinking the odds are that he actually sees out all 3 years?
I'm fairly confident.
Yeah?
A fresh change. Well, I think it depends on the sea change. That's what I think. Because if you're enjoying your lifestyle, if you're enjoying your time away from football, which is important, I think he'll stay if he's enjoying it. If he's not enjoying it, then there'll be question marks whether or not he likes to stay. I just hope that the culture and the community there embraces him. And I don't know where he'll stay. Is it going to be the Northern Beaches? Is it going to be around Redfern, Maroubra? Who knows? But it's crucial that he enjoys it because I think the team itself, he's quite close with Latrell Mitchell. We've got some State of Origin players that he's played with. He's got a good relationship with David Fafita, which helps. If he's got a good relationship with them and they take care of him and he enjoys himself, Wayne looks after him too, then I think he'll stay. Again, it's all the what ifs. It's all the what ifs. If the Bunnies don't have a great year, then he'll start thinking about it in the second year. It's all a what if at the moment, Dane.
What a forward pack, mate. Fafita and Haas back together again. Now that's going to be awesome to see, assuming Fafita gets back to his best, which I hope he does, man. It's going to be interesting to see his journey. I just want to touch on, too, the Broncos, because that's been obviously the massive fallout from this. Michael Maguire has finally spoken. They waited a while. They waited over a week before they finally got some comment. Obviously, the Broncos produced that little in-house video of Payne Haas's comments, very media managed. He said it's very much about his family. I have a great relationship with Payno, and we all live different lives and circumstances. Payne felt at the time he wanted some more support around him with his family, and that's ultimately what he spoke to me about. So there's been a lot of noise out there about a fallout, about Michael Maguire's training methods, and of course the Broncos being the Broncos. There's always been a million storylines coming out of the Courier Mail and all the media bubble that they do live in up there. What have you made of all this, man? Because I'd be surprised if there was. I don't think there's anything going on behind the scenes. I think it is a little bit about family. He does want to change. I mean, that's the line that he gave to the teammates when he did tell them. But there is always going to be this noise about Maguire. We know what he's been like in the past with the Tigers. You know, as a Bunnies fan as well, what he was like. But you also know what he can achieve, right, with winning these premierships that he's done now, 2 different clubs. Do you think there's so much truth to this noise around there being a fallout, or do you think he really genuinely just wanted to change?
I have all the time in the world for Michael Maguire. He did so much work for us at SEN, always had so much time for people. In fact, I actually messaged him after the grand final in the lead up to, and I said, mate, congratulations, well done. He got back to me. And he said, thanks, Coach K, which is my radio name. So he is one of my favourites. What he did for the Rabbitohs, every single fan will always love Michael Maguire. No matter what happened in 2015, that 12, 13, 14 ride was magical. Brought the best out of the players, and he was great. Now, my only question mark about Madge, and I think a lot of South fans will say the same thing, Dane, if I was a Broncos fan right now, I would be nervous. Because I know it was so long ago now, we're talking 11 years ago, what happened in 2015, it just went downhill. I don't know what happened specifically. I don't think a lot of people do. Was it because he trained them too hard? He continued to train them too hard? And the thing about Madge is he'll get the most out of your team, no doubt about that, no worries. And he proved that, again, with the Broncos. I just knew that when he signed with you guys as your coach, you had all the talent. Madge was the perfect fit for that position. And you won a competition. So he would have learned. Don't forget, Adam Reynolds is there. He played under Madge for all those years that he was at the Bunnies. Reno would have learnt as well about what it takes. I think between Madge and Reno's obviously the leader in your team, I truly believe you guys will be fine. But then again, you look at the situation with Payne leaving and you think, well, maybe those lessons have not been learned. If we're speculating here, potentially their lessons have not been learned and something has gone on. That remains to be seen. I don't know. But So watch this space.
100%, man. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if things do trickle out as the time passes and wounds heal. But for now, mate, I'm having my Broncos cap on and I'm saying there's nothing going on. But we'll see. We'll see. It will be interesting to follow that one. And I'm sure we will find out more in the years to come. Hey, just looking to the team, obviously, didn't touch on the weekend. Got to be happy with that hit out, Charity Shield, 28-24 over the Dragons. What did you make of the game, mate? They also gave a few guys a go. Ellis at 9, Jamie Humphries at 14. Players are going to be crucial to your spine this year. What do you think of the performance on the weekend?
Very impressive. It's a Wayne Bennett coach side, plain and simple. I mean, there wasn't a lot of star power in that team. Wayne maybe doesn't believe in Charity Shield, which is okay. Dragons pretty much played a full-strength team. And if you're a Dragons fan, you'd be impressed with some of those outside backs that you've got at your disposal. But as far as the Bunnies are concerned, there is so much depth now in the team, which excites me because you can't win a comp without depth. And there'll be a lot of players in that team that play well that won't get a shot this year. And that's fine. But I really like Bronson Garlick at lock. He's the perfect backup captain for a football team. Speaks well, leads by example. I think he topped the tackle count with 39 tackles. Huge effort by him. Guys like Matt Duffy. And people forget, right? Matt Duffy, when he was playing under 20s for the Dragons, was arguably the best player in the game at the time in his age group. Couldn't kick on for many reasons, and that's fine. But the opportunity to come back to the NRL, and that's what Wayne Bennett has given. He's given these guys an opportunity to come back, shoot their shot. And what Matt Duffy did on the weekend, over 200 metres gained, great backup option at fullback. It is great. And if you're a starting first grader like Latrell, like a Cody Walker, and you looked at that performance, and a lot of them were sitting in the stands watching on, you have confidence in your players that they can deliver. The fact the Bunnies won that game, that is a huge tick of approval. But as they say, season matches don't matter, do they?
Not at all, mate. Not at all. But good early signs, like you said, and you did mention Wayne Bennett and the influence that he's had, mate. And obviously the pull he had in even getting Payne Haas there. So obviously you said injuries played a big part. 16th last year. You haven't made the finals now. What is it, since 2021?
A long time.
22, yeah, sorry. And the last time I was looking it up that Wayne Bennett has coached a finals team was in the grand final, which you guys made. That's the last time he's coached the finals. Obviously had a couple of seasons at the Dolphins where they didn't make it. A rough first year back at South. But heading into this season, are you quietly confident you are going to be in that top 8 picture? I mean, full strength, it's obviously a different side. You've got question marks over Latrell. Is he going to play fullback? Is he going to play in the centres? Where's he going to have his best impact? Are you confident this team is right to get back in that top 8 picture?
After all the injuries we had last year, I don't want to commit to saying we're top 8 because it scarred me. But the spine is the biggest question mark for mine. Every single position is covered. There is no doubt about that. The spine is the problem, and we haven't had a quality halfback since Adam Reynolds left. So that says to me there are problems maybe with the development of the Bunnies, who we bring up. Don't forget Jonah Glover had that injury in the Charity Shield the 3rd minute of the game. He may have been in the running to get the halfback spot. Jamie Humphries is going to probably be the long-term option now. And again, I don't think Jamie was locked in and as a starting halfback anyway, because I don't think I've seen enough of him actually playing. He was playing okay when he filled in at lock sometimes. He came onto the field, he had to shift positions. Wayne put him there and he looked pretty sharp. He could have been our 14. Jonah Glover could have been the halfback. I will say this, Dane, we have a bit of an X factor, and this is putting something out there into the ether, and I hope maybe it will pay off. When Cody Walker came off the bench last year, he showed that he could turn the game. And that's not to say he couldn't do it when he starts, but when the pack is tired and Cody came off the bench, wow, he looked good, and we looked good for it. Guy Gray around the back. Latrell looks like he's going to be playing centre. It looks like Jack Wyden will be playing at number 11, I believe, so he'll be playing in the back row. That's the unknown to me as well. Why Jack Wyden is playing at 11, unsure. Don't think he's ever really played there before, from memory. Not even at the Raiders. He played a lot of 5'8", a lot of centre. I'm sure he's capable of playing most positions, but Latrell at centre, love that. I think that's great. Jai Gray at fullback is awesome. Again, I don't think Jai Gray is a fullback that is going to win you a competition, but he does no wrong. And that's what I love about him, and he deserves his spot there. But Latrell isn't going to be a James Tedesco if it was a fullback. We've seen that for so many years. And I think as a Bunnies fan, as much as he frustrated us, that he wasn't your Teddy. Like he has all the ability to churn out the meters if he wanted to. He's got so much talent, but he's the type of player that if he touched the ball 5 times, he'll score a try or set up 2. So he doesn't need to be that sort of player. But I like him there. I just think there's question marks over the halfback at the moment and our hooker position too. So there's a lot of unknowns.
That's what I was going to say, mate. Just looking at your team properly today, obviously you don't really have, you have a stacked forward pack. You've got strike and the outside backs, but then I just take a look at that spine and that does concern me. Just the talent, the quality that's in it. You look at that, is that a premiership spine? I don't think so. I think it's pretty far off. If we're talking Jai Gray at fullback, Walker at 6, do you think Humphreys at 7, Mamazelis at 9? Is that what you're thinking at the moment?
I'm thinking Mamazelis would be 9. Yeah, I think that's the way Wayne might go.
And that's just, yeah, it's not filling me with confidence, man, if I was a betting man. But that's obviously going to be interesting. You mentioned Latrell. Looks like it will be in the centres, and he's going to be the guy, right? That was the thing. You're not going to have problem making meters. You're not going to have problem making him points. When the game's on the line, like, who's going to step up? Who's pulling the strings? Who's going to pull that piece of magic out of the hat and get you home? And Latrell's obviously is that guy, but at centres, is he a bit more restricted in his impact? So I'll be very interested to see how long that goes. Obviously, we know what he did at the Roosters and how he can play centre. But yeah, I am concerned looking at that spine, man. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Humphreys is obviously going to have a big job to fill. He's suspended the first couple games of the season.
Yeah.
And the pressure is going to be on pretty quickly, mate. And yeah, we all know what happened last year in that half situation. It got pretty messy, the poor Englishman.
Yes. You know what I would like to see, though? And I think there's potential there because whenever Bronson Garlick played hooker at the Storm, I know it's the Storm system, which is arguably the best in the competition. There is a conversation to be had, too, of Bronson Garlick starting at 9 as well. Wouldn't mind seeing that either. But anyway, that's by the by.
Well, I like your depth. There is depth there, but yeah, locking down that spine, that's going to be crucial. And we did sort of touch on this situation, and I have asked the South fan before, but because he did just win another premiership, have to ask, is letting go of Adam Reynolds the worst decision of all time?
It killed me, but I couldn't be happier for Renault. And I would have loved him to become a one club player. I would have loved that to happen. But the thing is, at the time, Dane, it was a risk. It was for the salary cap. Renault had the rehab bib on quite a few times throughout his career. Were they skeptical about that as a long-term option? Do we have any young halves coming through that could have filled his position? Well, Lockie Ilias was the man, but that didn't play out the way it would have liked. So, yeah, I don't think it paid off for the Bunnies. At the time, though, it was a gamble. Sad to say, but I don't think it paid off. You're right. I don't think that paid off at all.
I'm going to say worst decision of all time, mate. I know you couldn't say it. But just the fact of it, he's very close to being a 2-time premiership winner since, but it is a sliding doors moment, and hindsight's a wonderful thing, and we'll never know. Maybe it was the change of scenery. That was the thing that really kicked it all off, just like Payne Haas. We never thought he was going to lead the Broncos. Needs a change. Maybe Adam Reynolds needed a change, but geez, you look back now and like we just had that whole spine conversation. You had a guy there who's just won another premiership as a halfback, which we know you need to build your club around. It's got to hurt. Sorry to rub that one in, mate. I got to get something. It will be interesting to see, man, how that all works out. So just looking ahead, yeah, I don't know where I'd put you guys just yet. I mean, I think you should probably crack into the 8. Looking at the team, like I said, that forward pack, mate, David Fifita, I'm really interested to see how he goes. Obviously had some really studded couple of seasons there at the Gold Coast. If he can really turn it on, obviously Cam Murray being back and fully fit, where do you think? So you think top 8? I mean, I'm thinking they can just crack in there. I'm going to go 8th. That's going to be my prediction. Give me a prediction.
Yeah, I think that's the expectation as a Bunnies fan. I look at them and I think to myself, well, the roster is there for a top 8 position. There's no doubt about it. The hard part is whether or not we have faith, and we won't know until all the players hit the paddock, faith in guys like David Fifita and Brandon Smith to deliver. They've got their shot, they've got that opportunity now. And Brandon Smith, don't forget when he played, he was pretty sharp, but obviously had a few off-field issues that put a spanner in the works for Brandon. By all reports, this is what Matty Johns has said, that he's looking really sharp. So he's really putting in now. He's trying to get back to his best. There's a world where Brandon Smith could be the starting hooker. I don't think he will be, though. I'm sure Brandon Smith will come off the bench still until maybe he starts to show that he's capable. He's got his fitness down pat. His ball playing is back to where it was, and maybe he will play the back end of the season at 9. But there are a lot of question marks over these guys that we have signed. Don't forget the Josh Schuster experiment didn't work. He was another player that we picked up thinking that we can get him to his best. With all the talent, not even Wayne Bennett could do it. And I was confident in Wayne getting the most out of Josh Schuster. So it's really about the individual. And that's what Wayne is showing. Wayne is showing you guys have the talent. It's up to you if you want to put in and work hard. We're not signing you on much, but you prove to yourself we're giving you one last shot. We're giving you an opportunity, and now's the time to deliver. And it's really up to them. And I think South have the leadership to get the most out of them. Cam Murray's finally back fit. Campbell Graham, hopefully he's back healthy. These guys who have been in the system for so long, Latrell's obviously got a lot of X factor and influence. He could be one of those guys that David Fifita can rely upon to help him if he has any question marks and challenges. But the beauty of the Payne Haas signing is that that's added expectation and pressure on these guys to perform because they want to be there when Payne Haas is there. So I think that signing says more than meets the eye. It's not just the Payne Haas signing; it's these guys looking ahead, knowing that he's coming. So let's aim up and start performing.
Mate, pressure's on 2027 because you got to make finals then. That's going to be a requirement. I mean, it almost is now, I guess you'd say this year it is. But when he comes, if you're thinking, that top four pitcher, assuming you can get this halves situation sorted out. So it's going to be very interesting to see you guys. I love Wayne Bennett. I love dealing with Wayne Bennett. He's just such a character. I love talking to him at media ops when we go out there to Maroubra. He's an awesome guy. He doesn't mind swearing too off camera. He gets a little more of his personality when the cameras are turned off. He doesn't mind chewing your ear off too if he has a gripe with the game. He's done that to me on one occasion. Quite intimidating, actually. He really towers over you. But I love seeing it. But you still think he's got that magic. Obviously, it was hard to tell last year. He did a lot of the groundwork with the Dolphins, but they did miss the finals. It's hard, obviously, as a new franchise. But has old Wayne still got it?
I think he does. I have full faith in Wayne. Look, when you achieve so much in the game, you know when your time is up. That's what I believe. If you're still trying to prove yourself or you're a coach with not that much experience, you still believe that you can give so much to the game. And even if you're struggling, you work on your craft. You're learning and developing in your craft. I feel like Wayne doesn't need to really do that too much anymore. So that's why I think Wayne would recognise if he didn't have it still in his arsenal. The fact that players want to play under him says to me that he still has that aura about him and that players believe that he can get the most out of them. So I think he still does. Now, we are a different setup to the Storm. Right? Wayne's not going to develop the young kids or the young guns at the Storm doing. Craig Bellamy's just a freak. He's a Hall of Famer, I believe. And he's a Hall of Famer too. But Wayne just does his casual way of coaching and he'll just basically, treat everyone fairly, possibly not all the same. And the players love Wayne because he's a father figure and they want to play for Wayne. And as long as the players still want to play for Wayne, then in my books, that's a tick.
100%, mate. He's that player's coach. And yeah, I think he'd be a great guy in line. We've seen what he can do. And I don't have any doubts that he's still got it. I just like him staying in the media too. I like going to his presses. But no, I think he could turn it around, man. Injuries aside, it'd be interesting to see. And he made his feelings. I have some quotes here from him too on R360. He said he's over it. Said go and talk to the winger at Parramatta about it and see what 360 has done for him. If you want to quote me on 360, my advice to any player is don't go anywhere near it. So it'll be interesting with him and new friend Payne Haas and what happens in the next few years with that. Mate, that's pretty much it for the Bunnies. I think we wanted to touch on. Just some quick ones I wanted to wrap with some good or bad for fans. Today, obviously, the big news, Origin eligibility rules. Mate, good or bad for fans? What do you reckon?
I think it's great for fans. I think it opens up so many doors now for players. I don't think the pool of players will be as big as what people think. Like if you're looking at the grand scheme of things in the NRL, there might be maybe 10 players in that pool that will get that opportunity now. So I just think it doesn't put the pressure on the players to make the decision anymore. It's now we're good to go, and I think that's great for the game.
Yeah, and I was always thinking, I was a firm believer in, the country that you represent. As long as you're still eligible for Queensland or New South Wales, the country that you choose to represent shouldn't affect it. I know some people don't have that view, but I'm all for it, man. I was a massive fan of changing this, and if we want to keep going the international game, be serious about it. A lot of people like to shit on international rugby league, even sports lovers, and even rugby league fans. A lot of pessimists out there, but I think it's a great thing. It's only going from strength to strength, and I think this just helps it even more, allows players the freedom to represent their country while still playing for Queensland or New South Wales. So I think it's an amazing thing, and I'm glad we're going with the times. Peter V'landys has shown his time. He's not afraid to make the move when he wants to. This one sort of came out of nowhere too. I mean, it's been talked about for years. We're worried about the kickoff and restarts, and then all of a sudden it's the Origin eligibility rules. He gets shit done, Peter. He does. We love him. And mate, the World Club Challenge on this weekend. My Broncos, of course, going for another title. It's been a long time since an Aussie team done. Friday morning time slot though, not ideal. I think it's 6:30 Sydney time, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, Friday morning. But the World Club Challenge, mate, good or bad for fans?
I think it's great, actually. And I think if you're a Broncos fan, the bonding within the team, I think that's what the Broncos will mainly use it for. But it's good for the growth of the game. And I know that's a cliche, and it always is. And I don't care about the standard of the Super League. I don't care if they always get flogged every year by 40. I just think it puts the game around the globe. And I think that's really important and crucial because if you stop doing it, then all of a sudden the connection between both the Super League and NRL gets lost in translation, which I don't think is a good thing.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I'm all for it. We obviously saw Peter V'landys come out just a little while ago. They want to do this opening international round, talking about games in England, Japan. Mentioned Hong Kong, Abu Dhabi. Like it's pretty crazy the way they're trying to get this game forward. Obviously, Vegas is not too far away now. International round, mate. Good or bad for fans?
Brilliant. I believe that if they bring a game to Japan, that will go down far better than Vegas. I'm still yet to believe that Vegas is doing anything for the NRL. Personally, we'll wait and see what happens when the deal's done and we'll get a glimpse at the metrics. Knowing how many expats live in Japan and knowing how popular Japan is as a destination for Australians going over there, and rugby union is huge in Japan. It is massive. They're actually pretty good at rugby union for those listening to the podcast that don't know. They're a very strong nation as far as the development is concerned. I think Eddie Jones is doing quite a good job there, despite what he did at the Wallabies. I think he did a pretty good job at Japan rugby. So if they bring a game to Japan, that is going to be great. And I think that's the best thing they could do for sure.
100%, mate. Let's not forget those beautiful Jetstar sales. 650,
Oh, yeah.
650 return. I got to Osaka. So, mate, I imagine they would jump on it. I think it's a great thing too. And yeah, it's a good point you make actually about the rugby support. Obviously, they are a decent rugby nation, and you're right. It could maybe get some fans in the door, maybe some local Japanese boost the profile. Vegas is an interesting one. You're right, because what is it really doing? It's an awesome spectacle. Looks great on TV, and fans who have the money who can make a trip out of it, awesome for them. But in the grand scheme of things, yeah, what is it really doing? I mean, it's never going to rate that well on American audiences or TV. It's just going to be expats and traveling fans, and bringing the Super League team into it was a good idea. That's a 5-year experiment. Obviously, this is year 3 around the corner, so it'll be interesting to see where it all goes. Keyan, mate, thank you very much for taking the time with us. Good luck to your Bunnies. Broncos Bunnies grand final, you reckon, maybe?
I like the look of that, and I hope we get updates. So, no, if it's there, mate, we'll celebrate. Well, I'll celebrate with the beverage afterwards, and you're welcome to join me.
Sounds good, mate. You'll have your heart broken, though. Golden Point win 2019 to the Broncos. Reece Walsh magic, baby. Keyan, thanks a lot, mate. You can catch Keyan on SEN, mate. Give us a listen. You've been a pleasure, mate. Good luck to your Bunnies this year. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for all your support. Please give us a like, follow, give us a rating on Apple and Spotify. Anywhere you get your podcasts, it'd be a massive help. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.